On the 22nd of September, Iran claimed to have successfully launched a new medium-range ballistic missile. This was only a few hours after it was first revealed on the missile launch vehicle at a military parade in Tehran. Western and Iranian journalists reported the story, some even carried video footage of the event. Then 3 days later, Fox News and later CNN reported the launch was a fake. Both claimed corroboration from unnamed US officials and Trump administration officials, insisting the video was of a failed test flight from January, and offered confirmation that the US intelligence radars and sensors did not detect the alleged test launch. But whichever source you believe, it is certainty that Iran can launch missiles. And for the government and military policymakers involved in the region, this contradiction of claim and counterclaim halts any effective clarification, understanding and assessment of Iran's missile capability, and their intentions. Their surface-to-surface missile, or SSM, the Haram Shah, was displayed at the Sacred Defense Week parades to celebrate the Iran-Iraq War of the 80s. Tehran always unveil their new military hardware at this event, though often outside military observers are skeptical about the effectiveness or veracity of these new developments. Claims for the Haram Shah are: it is a single-stage liquid-fueled missile with a range of 2,000 kilometers, delivering a single or multiple warheads up to 1,800 kilograms. The Missile Technology Control Regime, a partnership of 35 countries which aims to prevent nuclear proliferation, says the reported range and payload classify Haram Shah as a nuclear-capable ballistic missile. But Iranian claims to have already developed multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles (MIRVs) have been dismissed by Washington based on the think tank Center for Strategic and International Studies. Brigadier General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force, states the Haram Shah is 13 meters long, shorter than Iran's Imad missile, which has been in service for 3 years. However, based on its diameter, it is larger than Iran's known ballistic missiles. During the parade, the engines were covered from view, possibly to prevent analysts observing similarities between the Iranian and North Korean missiles. The concept of the Haram Shah was first raised by Tehran during the Sacred Defense Week 2016. In January 2017, reports that Iran had tested a ballistic missile by Western media included the observation that the flight had failed, having exploded at 1,000 kilometers. At the United Nations, US, British, French, German, US delegates to the complained the test was contrary to the agreed 2015 nuclear deal with Iran. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif wouldn't confirm or deny the test, but Minister of Defense Brigadier General Hossein Dahan validated the test but not the missile involved. There was no mention of the test being a failure. There are widespread reports that the missile is a collaboration between Pyongyang and Tehran. Fox News had previously reported in July 2016 that Iran had tested a North Korean BM-25 Musadan, which has been in development since 2003 and was derived from a Soviet submarine-launched missile. American officials, again unnamed, confirmed the 2016 test, saying, "The last time this type of missile was test-launched was in July 2016, reinforcing the belief that Iran's Haram Shah is indeed North Korean's Musadan. Despite the observable difference in their appearance, the Musadan has fins where the Iran's missile is finless." Iran's announcement of the test, despite the risk of upsetting the 2015 nuclear deal with the West, has many political benefits. It demonstrates their battlefield readiness and has a considerable deterrent effect on their neighbouring states, whether they're considering an attack on Iran itself or trying to restrict Iran's growing influence in the Middle Eastern arena. It allows Tehran to intimidate others without recourse to active military engagement. It is power politics writ large. To Iran's domestic population, it shows a resolve in the continuance of Islamic revolution and a disregard for Western opinion and pressure, and further exerting Islamic Republic's controlling pressure on a repressed population. To the world, it demonstrates Iran's defiance of attempts to limit its influence and independence. Despite rumours of a failed test, Iran has continued to present the test as successful, probably not in response to the outcry at the United Nations by Trump and France's Macron, but more as a statement to impress Middle Eastern states of Iran's strength, as when in June this year, Tehran fired 6 ballistic missiles targeting Syria. Since the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was agreed in July 2015, and until Trump's on-notice warning, more than 20 ballistic missiles have been launched by Tehran. How many were failures or successes depends on who is reporting and who you believe. Iran has an incentive to claim success even if the result may have been a failure. Whatever the result, its missile program is a growing threat to all of Tehran's Middle East adversaries and the world beyond, and their arsenal is growing, as is their level of intimidation. As regards opposition to their missile developments beyond the Middle East, Iran will always push the West, especially US, resolve to the limit and then a little further. Although information on the Khorramshahr missile is still thin, if in fact Iran is still exploring connections with North Korea, as some researchers are convinced they are, we may be entering a new era of threat as yet unimagined.